Okay, so more of Luminosion. I have assembled a little bit more of the storyline of what I'm going to be doing for Ouronous. And I have also made, right here, some new stuff that I'm going to be making to my writings. So it comes about approximately, it's the theory of he's the first being ever. So he's going to pretty much just start off as a man, hoping to make whatever he can into the cosmos around him because he has dreamt a storyline in his head. Because he's tall enough to come up with storyless like that. He stands, thinking Rick Riordan said the gods stand at about 12 feet. He's a proto, so I'm going to put him about like 24 feet. We'll just say he's 24 feet tall because it's easier. It's beautiful. And so he comes up with this like internal storyline. And he's got the whole world in his hand. And at the end of the storyline, he starts to think of if he could cast a punch to maybe start something out of ordinary, like a chain reaction. So with what he's faced with and considered the choice, he punches with his right hand. And this is called the Dream of Dresden. And that means the dreaded of choice. So if he ever should meet another being, his name to them shall be Choice. And in his lifetime and in the story, he'll meet two. They'll be Zealous and Thanatos. And I don't really want to dip too much lower into the hierarchy since those three are at the top and are the highest. Rick has him as only a god. Me, I haven't put up there with like, well, it's one of the oldest three of creation. So what this quickly brought about was the regret of the choice, is because when he punched, not much happened. If you can picture it, he's gonna have to wait like a couple thousand years before interesting shit start happening. So he's pretty much screwed. You know, he's gonna be feral for a long time. So it's a long story of struggle and survival, kind of like being a neutrino and growing up slowly. Only he's locked in like this bubble for thousands and millions of years. Like he can never get out of it. You know, he's got no idea what age he is. He's got no idea what time it is, and he's gonna loop around for a couple trillion years. And we have the storyline set at its beginning about 500 trillion years before the Big Bang. So it's not going to take all the way up until that, but when that starts, that's you know, it's only going to take, I don't know, it's maybe duplicated to get it to the point where I had it at, like a computer simulation. But he's going to start encountering beings from everywhere he went and everywhere the cosmos tore off in fabrics. Everything that got wrapped in a bubble from debris is going to start forming into the same things like him. And I was wondering if there's anyone out there in the YouTube community that would like to help me come up with this story, since archangel myths and deityism are getting kind of hot these days. I'd love to sell it to Rick Riordan himself, because that would be awesome. I got a whole bunch of great theories. I mean, I know it's not really his particular ball game, since it kind of conflicts with the Perseus Jackson storylines, but I do have a great line of a lot of things that I'd love for this to be a part of. I have a beautiful saying called Oplo, and up above the wings, the eagle soars higher, and eventually I want to have it, because I'm a polytheistic kind of person. I believe in multiple faiths, that if he ever goes blind, he becomes Allah, and then the very path that he walks through kind of shelters and conceals a little bit and allows him to walk back, and if his eyesight drains, it may be replenished. And when he and the name feel that it's up to it, it goes back to being it, but he is no lesser and no greater than Allah. It would be, since Allah is a blind God, but he's omnipotent and omniscient, knows all and has all power, and chooses not to see, for it is the gift to us. Ouronous would give the heavens to us, but not himself. So since that's the storyline, I kind of want to have him meet Zealous, the god of personification, emulation, and zeal. and I want to have him meet Thanatos, the master of death's destruction. One could make a hard path going through it, and Thanatos could easily make a path to the both of them in either one straight motion or two, kind of like the little lightning bolt right there. Like, he kind of makes a path to them, and he can tell the difference, because Zealous makes his harder, but Ouronous is original. But telling deaths, when they come across it, they might not know. They might know that there's three, but they always look to see if there's more. So I want to see if I can find in a way, like a character, like a character reference, a video shout out, something. I mean, I know I'm not very big. I might have like 0 subscribers, but it's always good to guess. I got a bunch of symbols that I write. It's completely legible. Both alphabets are on there, but it's absolutely beautiful to write. And I got a whole bunch of numbers and things for. I wanted to start a video game for like a land map, and we can start working on all the different ways to make a storyline out of it, because people that I've been a part of haven't really wanted to do it because of work concerns and job and all that stuff. And I live in Marion, Indiana, so if you're near me or you want to help come up with some awesome ideas, we can totally make a bunch of money. My name is Joshua Mounts. You can look me up on Facebook, and we'll be back with more.